Everybody welcome Steve Walano.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Steve. I'm Simon's appetizer. So, thank you all for coming out tonight, despite some of that crappy weather. I'm sure some of you had to dig your cars out. I am sick of it. I had to dig my car out 3 times last week. If I wanted to live in Chicago, I'd move to Chicago. My car got stuck in like an actual solid block of ice. So I needed to get like a shovel, and then I bought a shovel, and I broke the shovel, so I had nothing around the house except a giant sledgehammer. So I went outside and started beating this giant block of ice my car was stuck in with like a sledgehammer, and I felt so awesome, like I was Thor, like just slamming into it. But then I realized I'm like not like real Thor. I'm like the kind of Thor who like bought a $10 monthly pass at Planet Fitness, but probably stopped going like, you know, last January. Because, you know, it's cold outside. I'm not going to the gym. There's like 20 seasons of Star Trek on Netflix. Yeah, I'm that kind of Thor. New Jersey Thor. I don't know. I'm the laziest person imaginable. I know, because I'm just in the most amazing shape ever. You guys are just like, oh my god, that guy must work out constantly. But I'm a piece of garbage. All my friends are big runners, and they've all gotten into this, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so addictive. You gotta get into running. It's just like, once you start at the 10th mile, you can't stop. And I'm just like, that's crazy. Because I thought beer and cheese was addictive. We each have our own addictions. Yeah. And like, you know, my girlfriend, she's so nice to me always. She's like, well, you stop it, you look great. And I'm just like, honey, I have been flexing our entire relationship. The moment you pass out, I'm just like, and all this falls down off me. It's all, the gut just flies out. I do one sit-up in the morning to get out of bed, and that's it. That's my workout. You know, but she's great. She stays in shape. She does stuff. She does like nice things. Like she did like a half marathon for charity, and like there was a triathlon. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. She does cool stuff, like, you know, like that. So I tried to, like, you know, I want to do something nice like that too. So I signed up. I'm not doing a run. Forget that. But I signed up for a walk. It's a 16-mile walk for charity. So of course I can't just sign up for a walk and feel good about it. I gotta like ham it up. I'm like, hey, I'm getting ready for my walk. Mary, she's so proud of me. She's taking me to get sneakers. We go to this fancy running supply store, and I'm just like, okay guys, now listen, I'm going on a 16-mile walk. So I'm gonna need the best walking shoe you guys got. And the guy's like, yeah, well, you know, we got the Puma 55 over here, and this one, this is like our favorite running shoe right now. I'm like, I didn't say running, I said walking. I'm gonna be walking a lot. And the guy like just gives me this look with like his Jesus beard and sort of just stares into my soul. And without saying anything, like basically says to me with his eyes, like, you're a freaking idiot, but you seem nice. I'm explaining to you right now with my thoughts. Walking is just running very slowly. And I was like, yeah, those shoes are good. Those are good. But, you know, I've been trying to take care of myself, go to the doctor more. I went to the dentist the other day, and I didn't go to the dentist in 5 years. And so I was like, here we go. You know, I'm going to go in, and they're going to be like, hey, you got to spend $1,000 getting your teeth back in shape, man. This sucks. It's just a mess in here. And, you know, the girl actually looked at my teeth and was like, wow, you haven't been in 5 years? These teeth are amazing. You must have really great saliva. And like, I don't miss anything I get to brag about, so I'm like, excuse me? Like, yeah, no, like, you have great saliva. So like, you know, the plaque, I was like, well, did I do anything to deserve this? She's like, no, it's just genetics, just mom and dad. I was like, wow. So I show up and, you know, I explain to my girlfriend what had happened. And she's like, oh yeah, you know, actually my family has really bad plaque. We need to go twice as often as other people. And then all of a sudden it's like I had this feeling like I was like out of her league. I'm like, so, you know, so my saliva was like really awesome, yeah. I really hope our kids get that gene someday. They'd be so genetically blessed to have my genes. They'd be like, oh, our kids are really obnoxious and they don't listen, but damn, those teeth. We save so much at the dentist. Now, me and my girlfriend got a lot in common, though. She's just great. Obviously, she puts up all the crap I talk about up here. She's a very supportive, wonderful, loving, beautiful person. She's back there. We have a lot of great things in common. One of the most interesting things we have in common is we're both sleepwalk and have night terrors. I'm going to give you a little sampling of what goes on here. One time, I ran down the hall and punched through a screen window and did a barrel roll onto the roof because I thought I was Spider-Man in my sleep. And then I woke up, and let me tell you, it's hard enough waking up from sleepwalking, but it's even harder when you realize you're not Spider-Man and you're on the roof. So that was a little taste. You know, she's done some weird stuff before. There was one time I woke up, you know, we're sleeping side by side, it's very cute, but I wake up and she's just looking right at me and she just looks at me and she goes, oh no, don't move. And she's completely like asleep, has no idea what she's saying. She's just like, sure hope there aren't any ghosts behind you. And then just passes out, It took me 5 minutes to turn around and make sure there weren't any ghosts. It took me 3 shots to get back to bed. Where we sleep looks like Paranormal Activity, but with an even crappier budget. I bet the ghosts are freaked out by us. Like, I'm not even worried about them. I bet they're just like, I don't know, man. I was just walking to get a glass of water, you know, ghost style. And this lady's like walking and staring at her boyfriend for 5 hours at the edge of the bed. And he thinks he's Spider-Man. He's out the window. He had some great teeth, though. That saliva, really, that was where it was at, man. I wish I had saliva like that when I was alive. Yeah, so believe it or not, this isn't what I do for a living. It's just fun. I have a day job. I'm an office manager, which is a really prestigious position. It means you manage the physical office, but nobody in it. Isn't that exciting all the time? A lot of people think it's just okay to leave your personality at the door when you come into an office. And I don't really know how to talk to people like that. Like, I was talking to one of my coworkers once, and we were like, what are you doing this weekend? She was like, I'm so excited, I'm going to Barbra Streisand. I was like, holy crap, I'm going to Comic-Con. And we both just had this like stalemate where we just looked at each other like, nothing. There's going to be nothing, just backed up. It's kind of the point where, you have like the same 10 conversations with people in an office constantly. It's like, how was your week? What's the kid doing? And like, I'll just be stuck at urinals with people. I just come up with random stuff. Like, what's your favorite Pokemon? Blastoise? Really? Bulbasaur, man. Bulbasaur all the way. Throws him off. I got a great boss now. He's a good guy. Which kind of worries me, because I think there's 2 kinds of bosses in the world. I think there's the boss that, is just a complete jerk to everybody all year, makes your life miserable, and then one day he brings in like donuts, and everyone's like, you know what, that guy seems like a jerk. Actually a really nice guy. He's a good boss. He's got a heart of gold. And then there's the other boss. That's nice. 364 days out of the year, perfect. Let you do whatever you want. Just as like a mental breakdown one day. And everyone's like, that guy seems cool. Actually a huge jerk. Don't ever work for him. He's a jerk. I think that's my boss, because I've worked for him about a year, and I'm just like waiting to snap. It'll come eventually. My job's okay now, but I miss some of the really fun jobs I used to have as a kid. Like I used to work as a pool lifeguard, and that was exciting. I mean, like the kind of stuff I got to do, like if like a baby went down in like the baby pool, I had to actually like push the mom out of the way so I could get the save. Just prop that little kid up. Baywatch style. We had so many kids who just went in thinking they could swim and couldn't. Like, I just wish I had like a giant pool skimmer that was like child size. And I could just be like, oh crap, here's another one here. I got it. You gotta like, get the dimension right. Okay, got it. Shake it out. Welcome everybody. Alright, I said that kid. We used to have a high dive, and that was my favorite part, because we had one rule about the high dive: if you went up, you had to dive off. You could not come back down the ladder. And things got really intense because it turned into like one of these like hostage negotiations. Where, like a kid would be at the top of like a diving board, and just like a crowd would form. You'd be the one having to be like, "All right, Jimmy, got everyone real worried down here. What is it you need?" "I want some Swedish fish." All right, get the chief on that. I'm talking to my boss about that. We can work that out. What else? "I want to do a cannonball when I get off." "Oh, yeah, I know who's going to give me hell for it. All right, just let me do the cannonball." "Yeah, all right, we can arrange that. You can do the cannonball. Anything else? Everyone get out of here safe." "I want to go to bed past 10 p.m. "Now, Jimmy, you know I can't do that." And like this ring of children would form, and kids are kind of jerks because they always send out the one kid who like you shouldn't be sending out to really do the talking. Some kid who's overweight and cross-eyed and pasty and has red hair. A child I call the recessive gene. And he comes out like, "Sir, what happened here?" Send him back to his group. Do you know how many cicadas I picked out of that pool as a kid? Like, and then like this last summer, we got everyone, like the hipsters just appropriated the cicadas. Like, "Oh, this is a cool thing. Let's all make apps to track the cicadas." And then everyone in New York was like, "Wait, like where are all the cicadas? Like, there's no trees here, dumbass." This thing is funny because like I think cicadas are amazing. I mean, can you think of any other animal that's the equivalent of that? Like if koalas just went up in the trees and started going at it after being in the ground for 14 years, and then they all just died and fell down the ground. And your dad had to rake up koala husks everywhere and put them in a giant lawn bag. That'd be insane. But that's what cicadas are. That kind of goes over better at some other shows, but I think people are a little weirded out. I think a little too much about some of this stuff. Anyway, my family's here. I love them to death. Real good times. We're kind of family, like, anything I say here, they're not going to forget it. And then we don't forget anything either in my family. My mom, one time, when we were kids, she tried to experiment with food, and she made something called taco lasagna. And I got 3 brothers, and we all came down. It was like a soggy, awful mess. And to this day, whenever my mom is like, "Yeah, I thought maybe we could go to Philadelphia for the week and try something," like, "Yeah, last time we tried something new, taco lasagna happened." She raised me right there. She raised me right. My mom used to toilet train us by telling us that the doo-doo police would come. We pooped our pants. And we lived near like a hospital, so there was the sirens going off all the time. So if I did have an accident, she'd just tell me to go upstairs and pretend like there were police officers at the door and open it up and be like, "Yeah, no, I know, just let him go this time, officer." Until very late in life, I thought that, not being potty trained was a felony. The cops busted a party in college, and I was like, "What took you guys so long? It's been 18 years. Sorry to tell that one while you're eating. It's a true story. This is like free therapy for me, guys. I gotta get it out. All right, well that is it for me tonight. Thank you so much for being such an amazing audience. You got Simon coming up next. He's gonna be the bomb. And I'm gonna hand you off to Scott real quick.
Steve Walano.